you guys ever seen a Taru eat an entire turkey dinner? I'm gonna try. Mmm, delicious. So I'll have an 8.5 hour food effect. I suppose I only need it for 30 minutes. But I'm gonna be full all day. Hello everyone, welcome back to Pwn TV. And I'm rather stuffed. As you can see, I can't even type today. But yeah, what am I doing in this video? This is going to be a pretty simple video, and it's going to be kind of a part 2 to the previous video that I posted about Treasure Hunter. I want to do a little test, something that I really don't have the answer to yet, but I'm very curious how this would work. I have an idea, I have a hypothesis, but I'm not sure. So what I want to do is I want to go fight Lady Lilith on Thief. As you know, I fight her on Scholar on easy mode, but I have beaten her before on very easy as a Thief. And so what I want to test is I want to see how Treasure Hunter works when Lady Lilith leaves the circle that she starts in, because I know that all of the other buffs on Lady Lilith wear off the moment that she either A, drops one of her dark gyves on top of one of your party members and is touching it, or B, happens to walk past the dark gyves on the perimeter of the arena. So that's what I want to do today. And why is this important? Well, I guess it's not going to be all that important outside of Lady Lilith, but I'm really curious for other content that the game might come out with in the future, because this is something that could potentially be unknown, and I want to just know it. So, does Treasure Hunter wear off when other debuffs are removed by the monster? That's the question that I plan on answering in today's video. And if you have watched my previous Treasure Hunter videos from earlier on last year, not my last video that I posted, but several months back I posted another in-depth guide on how TH works, and I explained in that video how when a monster kills you and you re-raise, if it's still not at 100%, it still has the debuff applied, so whatever the TH value was, it still has that. But if it regenerated to 100, the moment that it ticks up to 100, it loses the TH debuff. So the question here is Treasure Hunter a special case, and does it wear off when Lady Lilith runs out of the perimeter of the arena? So hopefully we can easily test this and figure out the answer to that question. I do know a few things about TH, as you know, you've seen in my previous videos. What I didn't discuss in my last one was mentioned in a previous video from earlier, like I said, where I was fighting. I'll link it into the description, but I was fighting some Aragnites on the beach in the Adeline expansion areas, and I was just testing TH on those. So I poisoned the Aragnite so it wouldn't regenerate, and then I started getting TH up to like 9 and 10. And then I let it kill me with its poison effect. It has a poison effect. It killed me. I re-raised, and the moment that I re-raised, I re-engaged it before it regenerated to 100, just to see if the TH value would change. Now, I already knew from experience that it wouldn't change. It stayed at whatever value it was, because the debuff doesn't get removed until the monster is passive at 100% regenerated. That's the condition that needs to be met. It needs to be passive. It needs to be regenerated to 100%. Like, that's when TH is removed. So if someone in your party freaks out because your thief died and they're like, I can't believe you died and lost all that TH, that's not at all how it works. Again, link to the video detailing this test in the description of this video if you don't believe me. But the way that it works is once the monster regenerates from 99% to 100% and is also passive, not on anyone's hate list, that is the moment that it loses the Treasure Hunter debuff. And as far as I understand, that is the only time that Treasure Hunter debuff is ever removed. So in this video, we're going to see if Lady Lilith actually is a special case, and if she can remove the Treasure Hunter debuff simply by walking past a dark gyve. That's the idea in this video. Now it does kind of look like there's going to be a little bit of a line here. Looks like 5 more pages. So that's not going to be all that exciting. So I guess what we can do is I'm going to pause for now, and make this a two-parter. And as soon as my page is up, we'll go in and I'll summon some trusts and we'll start our test. And then we'll wrap up the video. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, right? Right. Alright. Here we go. So as you can see, I'm in the Lady Lilith battlefield content. And since I'm on Thief, there's really not anything I have to do at the start. I did sub Ranger for this because I know a small little interesting trick for killing Lady Lilith on very easy mode, and even on easy mode as a Thief, but it's really expensive because these arrows are hard to make. And you need a lot of them to kill her. And you also need this this bow done, or the Kaja bow would be okay. Other than that, you're not going to really do the DPS and avoid the charm effect that she does. I'll show you when we get into the fight. But that's not really the point of the video. That's just how we're going to kill her on Thief, hopefully, and not lose our 8.5 hour food effect, right? So let's get started. Charge! So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to run to the middle of the arena. Hopefully not lose my trusts really quick, because that would suck. Would ruin the whole video! Alright, so I'm going to put the Treasure Hunter gear on, so I have a really high value for TH. And I'm going to try to get TH 9 on this target. That's the plan. So let's actually sort some job traits really quick, job abilities. I'll put Trick Attack, Feint, Assassin's Charge, which I'm still convinced that it does something, even though I'm pretty sure it doesn't do anything. And Sneak Attack. Oh, and Bully. Let's do that too. Where's Bully? Okay. There we go. Okay. So I have TH9 on her, but let's just go for TH10 since I've already kind of started. Oh, I'm taking a lot of damage. I don't think she's charming yet. But anyway, you can see the TH value raised. Where is it in the log exactly? I'm not seeing it. There it is, right here. Additional effect, TH value on Lady Lilith goes to 9. So what that means is if it wears off and I tag her again, it'll be 8, and then I'll have to hit 9 on my next upgrade and not 10. So if I hit 10 on my next upgrade after moving her out of the arena, that means that the TH value stayed on her. Now, I suspect the TH value will stay on her only because I've never seen it drop off when she spawns the Dark Jives like she did there in the middle. Her debuffs will drop off, but the TH always stays. So I'm wondering if it's the same when she leaves the arena completely. And it looks like we're in trouble because I don't know how I'm gonna kill her. We've got no mana on Yorin Orin already. So I guess we should just do this test really quick. Somehow. Alright, let's drag her out here. Come over here, Lilith. Alright, so she'll lose the debuffs that you put on her when she comes out here like this. Oh, Archievy's gonna die for sure. Maybe not. Oh, we're also almost dead. Okay, so I moved her out of the circle and back into the circle. And she's in a really bad spot right now because all of the trusts are like right on top of the Dark Jives. They're gonna take a ton of damage. And I think Archivy dies here too, actually. Pretty sure. Oh, still alive. Okay. Alrighty then. Anyway, she did walk outside, so all of her debuffs would have worn off when she walked outside. Like, period, that's just how it works. And I have hate, so I really can't look at her. But you know what I can do? I can stop feeding her TP. As soon as bind wears off. I don't have sub dancer, so I decided to actually sub ranger for this. And we are doing a really bad job. But so far, I have not seen the TH value raise again since she walked out of the arena. And I'm assuming that what's going to happen is it's going to be a normal effect, like the TH stays on even though she loses her debuffs when she walks out. I think the treasure hunter doesn't wear off. But that's my suspicion, is it just never wears off unless she regenerates to full. So anyway, this is my trick on killing her on a low difficulty. What you do is you TP on the Dark Gyves, and then you just use Imperial Arrow on Lady Lilith, and that way you don't feed her TP. That's just how I'm going to end up killing her. Hopefully. And you're not feeding her any TP. The Trusts are also not feeding her any TP. This is going to allow Orin to get some more mana, hopefully. But while we're filming and testing, it's kind of... It's a crapshoot if it's going to work or not. But I'm doing a decent amount of damage to her. 7,000 Imperial Arrows. So once Orin gets a little bit more mana, we'll actually go try and actually raise TH on Lilith again. And if it raises from 9 to 10, that means that she never lost it when she ran out of the circle, like she would lose her normal debuffs. And that also means that Treasure Hunter is not a special case. It only wears off when the monster regenerates from 99% to 100 passively. Like, that's the only time it will ever wear off. And this is the one way I know to test it with certainty, because Lady Lilith has that special effect where she does remove her debuffs, but she does not remove Treasure Hunter, is my theory. Okay. 14,000 Imperial Arrow, that's pretty sick right there. I like that. So you can see she's kind of useless. Orin is still getting mana back with Not. And that Treasure Hunter going to 9, that is on the Dark Gyves target. Just noting that really quick. It is not on Lady Lilith. It's a different target. So yeah, we're good, honestly. We can test here in just a moment. Gotta turn around. Don't want to get charmed. That would really suck. That would ruin everything. Okay, so that's plenty of MP on Orin. So we're going to go ahead and switch back to Lady Lilith. And we're going to start feeding her TP, and then hopefully actually get a Treasure Hunter 10 proc. Just to kind of prove that it is not a special case. So if we see an additional effect, Treasure Hunter value raises to 9, that means that it wore off when she ran out of the circle, and I hit her with 8 with gear, and then I upgraded it to 9. But you can clearly see that the first proc was actually raising it to 10 from 9, which means it was already 9, and it was 9 before she walked out of the circle, and then she came back into the circle with no debuffs other than the Treasure Hunter debuff that I applied previously, and then she kept the Treasure Hunter 9 on her, and then came back into the circle, and I procced Treasure Hunter 10. That's exactly what happened here. So that's good. I'm actually going to start TPing again on Dark Gyves because everyone's really low. I don't want to feed more TP to Lady Lilith if possible. I'll just let her run around and do her thing and kind of basically just ignore her. Keep my back to her though, otherwise I'll get charmed. But she's not going to get any TP when she runs back and forth tagging people. It's going to be very low TP gain for her. So I'm not really worried about her unleashing a bunch of TP moves on us and killing us all while Orin has no mana. So right now I'm just kind of milking the clock. So this is probably a different Dark Gyves because I just hit Treasure Hunter 9 on that one as well. But Lilith has 10. So we've just proven that even though she walked out of the circle, she kept Treasure Hunter 9 the entire time. She lost every other debuff because that's how she works, but she kept Treasure Hunter 9. her Dia effect would have worn off. Her helixes always wear off when she walks out of the circle. This is common knowledge. I believe she had no debuffs on her because when Koru gave her the Dia effect at the beginning of the fight, as soon as the Dark Gyves was spawned on top of Arc EV, that was when that Dia effect was removed, and Koru just simply didn't do another one. So when she walked out of the circle, you didn't see it in the log that she lost Dia effect because she had already popped the Dark Gyves and lost it at that point. So the point I'm trying to make is all of these Dark Gyves, they work exactly the same way, whether they're in the middle of the map or on the perimeter of the map. If Lady Lilith passes by one of them, she loses every debuff except for the Treasure Hunter debuff. That Treasure Hunter debuff stays on her all the time. It does not get removed by that ability that she has. Therefore, it would stand to reason that any other monster that you actually encounter in this game that has a similar ability where they can remove debuffs, they never ever remove the Treasure Hunter debuff on their own. Like anything that they do, anything that they interact with does not remove the Treasure Hunter debuff. If I died and I re-raised, as you'll see if you watch the video in the description, the previous one that I filmed on the beach against the Aragnites, if I re-raise and the monster has not regenerated to 100, they still have the Treasure Hunter debuff on them. They might not have any other debuff applied, but they always have the TH debuff until they regenerate passively to 100% health. Every single monster in the game works this way. So that is good to know. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. I just wanted to prove it here because I thought that for sure this is the best way to test something like that. Because Lady Lilith is going to remove her debuffs whenever she wants as soon as she touches the Dark Gyves. But in my experience, I've never seen her lose the TA. I would have noticed it by now, like for sure. If as soon as she spawns a Dark Gyve, she loses all her debuffs, Treasure Hunter doesn't go back to 8, it stays wherever it was. And we walked right around the right to the edge of the map, outside of the circle, and sure enough, Treasure Hunter debuff is still on Lady Lilith. I'll just kill her with Imperial Arrow. But this is what I was talking about. It's really expensive to do this on Thief because those arrows are really hard to make, like very hard to make. I mean, I could sit here all day making a stack of them or several stacks of them, but it is time consuming to get those arrows. There's just a lot of hoops you have to go through to synergize them. It's a synergy recipe, but all of the ingredients are also never on Auction House. Not only are the arrows and the quivers that hold the arrows never on Auction House, unless somebody gets an SP Gabi dial key and gets lucky. That's the only time you'll see them on Auction House. And trust me, I've asked people that sold the quivers on the Auction House. I'm like, where did you get that quiver? Oh, Gabi dial key. It was in the Gabi box. That makes sense. So that's the best chance that you have of getting those quivers, and it is the best arrow for Thief. But I try my best not to waste them because it is really hard to get more of them. I only have a few quivers left from when I synergized an entire stack of quivers, and that took me like 6 hours. And a lot of tells to get a lot of people to help me out because there's the arrowheads are 1 cent, and then the wood for the rest of the arrow and the fletchings for the back of the arrow, those are all different cents. You have to have different main crafts to do all that, and then once you have all that, once you finally gather the ingredients and make all those cents with all those different jobs, that all those different accounts that have all those crafting recipes all the way maxed out, then you can go synergize it, but you need a maximum, like a high level synergist to do it. So it's just a pain in the ass to make beryllium arrow. I would rather just save up the Gabi Dao keys and get lucky, or just camp the auction house until someone else does it. But yeah, this is one of the best ways to kill Lady Lilith, in my opinion. Because you're not really ever feeding her TP, and you're always keeping your back to her. You never get charmed. As a thief, you don't have to worry about charm, because she's always going to just be running around behind you. And you're just going to be TPing on the Dark Gyves. Dark Gyves isn't going to hurt you, really. Unless Lady Lilith does a TP move and knocks you into it, then the Dark Gyves will actually do a counterattack, like a TP move in response to that, and then that's when you take the damage. But Lady Lilith isn't getting the TP, so I'm just going to keep bashing and not care, pretty much. I suppose we can try to get TH11 on Lady Lilith, why not? Not that I expect any gear on very easy mode, but who knows. I gotta keep my back to her though, like for sure. Because when she's really low, she starts spamming Impact, she starts spamming all those really bad moves, and I'm feeding TP all of a sudden. Pedaling Tempest, that's going to max my TP gain out to 1,000, I believe. Yeah, TP inhibitor. Okay. Let's see if I can actually... I'm just going to use Barrage Sharp Shot, Conspirator, Despoil, take TP from her. It doesn't matter, but she's not going to have the TP now. I took 312 TP from her, and I'll Mug. And I'll Bully. And I'll Feint. And I'll Sneak Attack. And I'll Trick Attack. And I'll actually use Assassin's Charge, even though I'm confident it doesn't do anything. I'm superstitious, though. Maybe it does something. Alright, Lady Lilith, where's that TH11? That's what we need. Alright, well, we're not gonna get it, looks like. But I'll use Barrage. Take that, Lady Lilith. Take my Beryllium Arrow to your face. Yeah. This is tons of damage. It's actually a couple hundred points more damage than normal. Like that critical for 533, normally it does like 300 or 400, but I did use that food effect. That food effect is pretty OP. Yeah, I didn't get any loot. But as you can see, yeah, that's basically the whole idea with this video, is just kind of see for sure how TH works, how it interacts with special abilities that bosses have, like Lady Lilith when she walks out of the arena and loses all of her debuffs. And we proved it. She keeps the Treasure Hunter 9 that she had when she walks out of the arena. Which again, it's the same thing, honestly, it's exactly the same thing in her case as when she walks right by one of the dark drives that she places inside of the map on your tank. When she places that, she's touching it because it's on your tank and she's fighting your tank. So she's also on top of the dark drives. The moment she brushes against the dark drives, she loses her debuffs. All of them. But not TH. And that was the point of the video. I was trying to find some other way that you could possibly lose the Treasure Hunter debuff, and there isn't one. As far as my testing shows, there's no way to lose a Treasure Hunter debuff on a target at all whatsoever, unless they are passively regenerating to 100% health. That is the only time that the TH debuff gets removed, and you have to start all over. Beyond that, the TH value stays as whatever it was before. So you can always raise it from what it was before, unless the monster regenerates passively to 100%. And that's it. Thank you for watching my video. We'll end it here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.